Welcome, everybody. This is our webinar on Sleep Sweet and Rise and Shine, because this is the combo, right? We want to be able to get to sleep. We want to sleep nice and deep and enjoy our sleep, feel rested, and then we want to wake up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to go for the day. So my name is Shannon Hudson. I'm a Diamond with Young Living. This PowerPoint for this particular webinar is going to be made available on our website, shannonhudsonyl.com. Let's go ahead and get started. There's a few housekeeping things that I want to cover before we really get going. The first one is, if you are watching this video and you decide you would like to get started, please contact the person who sent you this link or the person who got you really excited to check out Young Living Essential Oils. All of the speakers in this amazing summit that we have going on are all Young Living distributors, and we are partnering together, and we want to make sure you get hooked up with the right person, the person that sent you to this event. So if you have questions, you want to get, little questions answered, or maybe you really want to get started, figure out who introduced you, figure out who sent you the link itself. And then while we're doing housekeeping, I want to give a little shout out to Barney. He is the one that organized this amazing Young Living Summit and all of the different speakers, everybody that's involved. If you're enjoying this, remember that you can get a VIP access pass or an all access digital pass, so you can actually have this information in your hands for a long period of time. For more information on that, you can go to 2016 ylsuccesssummit.com, and then go on to the YL Success Summit Facebook page and give a shout out. Say thank you to all of the people that have taken their time to educate you, to Barney, his wife, all of the behind the scenes people, all the people that are doing all the work that usually we don't get to see. Give them a shout out. Tell them thank you. Thank you for their time. Thank you for the effort. Get that information out there and appreciate it. And again, I am Diamond Shannon Hudson. All of our Facebook posts, everything we do, everything we make, you are welcome to share. You can join us with any of the stuff that we do, and you can take all of the PowerPoints that you find on our website and you can edit them and use them and teach them and share this message, because Young Living is a message that is designed to be shared. So when it comes to sleep, we all look at our little ones and they have this great sleep and they fall asleep easy and they wake up giggly and ready to go for the day. And we all sit there and we think, man, how do they do it? Right? Because that's the name. We all would like to get there, but the older we get, the harder it is to get, and we get mesmerized and our time gets changed and everything gets messed up. So the question is, how much sleep do you really need? Because I know especially women, we tend to think that sleep is this extra thing and you're just being lazy if you want to take a nap. And I want to maybe set some records straight for us. So how much sleep do you really need? Well, newborn to 2-month-old, they need about 12 to 18 hours, and we all see that. We get that. Even 3 to 1-year-olds, 14 to 15 hours of sleep, and we're good with that. We make sure they get their sleep. And what happens when a little one doesn't get enough sleep? They're cranky, they have temper tantrums, they get fussy, and we even say, oh, she's just late on her nap. And we're okay with that. Then we have our 1 to 3-year-olds, that's 12 to 14 hours of sleep. And somewhere between 3 and 5, they stop needing naps, right? But they're still needing 11 to 13 hours of sleep. And so they're not wanting the nap, but their little body, it's crying out for it. 5 to 12-year-olds, they're needing 10 to 11 hours of sleep. And this is where you really start seeing it getting gypped. Between that, maybe 7, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-olds, on up to 18. Because our 12 to 18-year-olds, they still need 8 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. And adults, we need 7 to 9 on a regular basis, going back and forth between them. Your body will fluctuate. And the problem is, we just tend to not get that. Our grade schoolers, they need that about 9 hours of sleep. And we think we're putting our kids to bed early, but even 9:30, 10:30, that could be considered a little bit late, depending on what time they have to be at the school bus, right? So according to the National Sleep Foundation, when your kids are having trouble in sleep at school, it really could be sleep. To thrive academically, our kids of all ages, preschool through college, to have the energy they need, to be able to focus, to be able to concentrate, to retain information, to be able to be creative problem solvers, and that is with school and with personal relationships, right? We got to be able to have that sleep. So amazing success at school, it also requires our kids and us to be able to have impulse control. And we're finding that when we're not getting enough sleep, that doesn't happen. Our emotions get chaotic when that's happening. So all of our skills, being able to get along well with others, to be able to take the ups and downs, a healthy, consistent sleep cycle is huge. One of the things that will tell us whether or not a kid is going to have a problem in school is really their sleep cycle. A lot of times the kids getting in trouble and having getting in fights, it has to do with not being able to sleep. And again, we get that when they're little. We're like, oh, it's nap time. But when it comes to our older kids, we don't take that reality that maybe they're just tired. Maybe that they need that nap. Maybe they need to go to sleep earlier, be able to sleep in later, We need that. And quite frankly, as adults, some of the emotional stuff that we go through could literally just be related to, we're just tired. Our body has to have it. And we have this amazing body clock. This isn't like something you can fight. There's biology that goes to this. Our brain creates and makes melatonin. Melatonin is produced, it increases in the evening as the sun goes down and we start getting sleepy, and the pineal gland kicks out this melatonin and it tells our body it's time to relax and time to chill. And then that starts somewhere around 7, 8:30, 9 o'clock. It starts kicking out depending on where the sun is, where you're living at the time. And then it peaks around 2 o'clock in the morning. That's when it's the highest level. And that's when our brain says, oh, it's just time to go into repair and cleaning. And we get into that beautiful, amazing sleep. And then as the night wears, the melatonin starts being used up by the body, and they fall to normal amounts of melatonin somewhere between 6 and 8 o'clock in the morning. That's us as adults, but it's a little bit different for our teens. And teens, by the way, this goes all the way up to age 25 when we're referring to the body clock this way. Teens, young adults, it's different. For them, melatonin, their pineal gland, does not begin kicking out melatonin until about 3 hours later. And you know what? The insurance companies know this. When you look at the rates for driving a vehicle, your insurance, it drops at 25. And that's part to do with the ability to concentrate as far as the sleep cycle goes. So teenagers, that melatonin kicks out later. It starts kicking out somewhere around midnight. Ever try to get a 13-year-old to go to bed early? It's hard, and it's because that melatonin that tells us it's time to relax and start getting sleepy doesn't even start kicking out until midnight for them. So for them, that peak that happens for us around 2 in the morning, it's 3 hours later for our teenagers. So that peak for them is happening between 4 and 6 o'clock in the morning, depending on when it kicked out for them. And then the really bad thing is it begins wearing off. So they come back down to the lower levels and they start having that wake up time closer to 10 o'clock in the morning. And yet for school, what time do the kids have to get up to be on the bus? Especially think about your high schoolers. So some things to think about. Just that chronic mild dehydration, deprivation, it's huge. Is this a big deal? A lack of sleep affects the teenager's brains just like it does the adult brain, only a little bit more so. So chronic sleep deprivation in adolescence diminishes the brain's ability to learn new information. It can lead to emotional issues like depression and aggression. Researchers now see sleep problems as a cause, not a side effect of teenage depression. So in one study that was done by Columbia University, teens who went to bed by 10 p.m. or earlier were way less likely to suffer from depression or suicidal thoughts than those who regularly stayed awake well after midnight. And this is just an everyday thing. This is sleep. This is sleep, and across all ages, signs of sleepiness turn up as behavioral and learning difficulties. Kids who seem really excessively sleepy all day long during the day, they're more likely to experience problems with learning and impairment and judgment, hyperactivity, that type of a thing. That's way more common in our little ones who are sleepy. It's one of those things we don't talk about. We have all these different reasons why this might be happening and this might be happening. But what if it's just sleep? What if we're just tired? And sleep deprivation, it's dangerous. It's not just one of those things. Sleep deprivation, most people, we think about and we're aware of how dangerous it is to drive when you're intoxicated. But many of us don't realize that drowsiness impairs judgment, performance, and reaction times, just like alcohol and drugs. That's terrifying to me. Studies are showing us that being awake for more than 20 hours, I want you to remember that number, being awake for more than 20 hours can result in an impairment equal to a blood alcohol concentration of 0.08. That's the legal limit in every single state. This is a big deal. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimates that 100,000 police-reported crashes each and every year are caused primarily by drowsy driving. And those crashes, they result in more than 1,550 deaths annually, and that doesn't even include the 71,000 injuries that happen because of it. And I know right now you're probably going, oh, come on. It's not that bad. Really? Is it that big of an issue? Well, let's talk about some of the things. How about Chernobyl? When you do the research and you find out what happened, why did Chernobyl happen? It was sleep deprivation. And this isn't even secret information. The Challenger accident, there was sleep deprivation involved in that accident being able to happen. Now that terrifies me that these huge things, 3 Mile Island, research it, look it up, sleep deprivation. These are big catastrophic things that happen. How about the Exxon Valdez? Sleep deprivation. And I mean, I know we look at those and we go, oh, those are such big, huge things. You know, that's not every day, Shannon. You're just exaggerating. No. How about just flat out medical error? Medical error. Now think about this. We just said 20 hours. So people going 20 hours without sleep, right? 20 hours without sleep, they have more problems. They have judgment errors, all kinds of stuff that happens. That's medical error. And then how about everyday old-fashioned accidents? That's terrifying. This is every day. This is affecting us. This is a big deal. And the truth is, and this is just the absolute truth of the situation, it's hazardous. It is. Sleepiness is hazardous for us. Studies are showing that more than half of all fall asleep crashes involve drivers age 25 or younger. Now again, remember when that melatonin kicks out. Remember what time our kids have to be at school, our jobs start, our life has to happen, and we're out there pushing and doing what we have to do, and then we put our kids behind the car. They're driving a vehicle. Most young drivers, they're just flat out tired. Biology. School, the pressure, extracurricular activities, early school times. A lot of the different states have started changing the start time for most high schools, for a lot of the high schools, because they've seen differences. They've seen changes in the number of kids that dropped out of school when they made school start later. Their little bodies need it. I mean, flat out, that's the way it is. And 1 in 5 adolescents get an optimal 9 hours of sleep on school nights. That's just 1 in 5. Almost half of them sleep less than 8 hours a night on school nights. That's not enough for the developing brain. It just isn't. Their bodies need more. Our bodies as adults need better. We have a hard time making a decision. But now we're doing the same thing to our teenagers. And we're wondering why they're having such a hard time. According to the National Sleep Foundation, this was in 2006. In an American poll that they did, more than half of the teenagers admitted to driving drowsy in that past year. And then it went beyond that because 15% of all the drivers that were in 10th and 12th grade said that they drove drowsy at least once a week. Once a week. So what are some things we can do? And this, we haven't even talked about oils. We haven't talked about nutrition. We're just flat out saying there's some safe driving tips that all of us of every age need to be doing. Don't drive if you're tired. Flat out make a choice that if I'm tired, I'm not going to drive. Don't rely on the radio or the open window or all those other things to keep you awake. It doesn't work. Your biology will kick in if you are tired enough and you're going to go to sleep anyways. Don't drive at times when you would normally be sleeping. You know, every one of us have left somewhere, been really, really tired, ended up at home in your driveway, and you're like, oh my gosh, how did I get there? Right? We've gone through that. This is reality, people. Not even a small amount of alcohol, especially if you're sleepy. The alcohol magnifies the effects of being sleepy. So what are some things that you can do? Some things we can teach our kids to do. Get a good night's sleep. Do that. Do a good night's sleep, especially if you've got a long drive coming up. Choose to take that time. Get off the road if you notice any signs of getting really tired. Don't just push through. There's a reason why there are so many truck stops for our truck drivers to be able to stop. So when that fatigue happens, they can get off the road. Take a nap. Find a safe place. Take a 15 to 20 minute nap. Refresh yourself. And you know what? Teach your children, and this for you too. Call somebody to pick you up. If you were intoxicated, you would not think it odd to call somebody to pick you up. But when our kids are tired, they don't know it's okay to say, Mom, I shouldn't be driving. Dad, I'm really, really tired. Come get me. I can't drive. We tell our kids all the time, if you end up at a party and you've been drinking, don't drive home with somebody that's been drinking. Call me. Well, get that message out there to our kids because they don't know. I'm sure some of you talking today, you had no idea some of the stats we just gave you. And some things you can do to change it. Change it for yourself, change it for your kids. We got to reset our body clock. some of the things you can do, and these are just quick fixes, things that you can start making the change. Look outside first thing in the morning. Get those bright lights, get them right into the eyes. That pineal gland senses sunset in sunlight. It senses it. It senses the bright lights. It helps our body to kick out cortisol and melatonin. One wakes us up, one puts us to sleep. Second one, turn off extra lights by 8:30 p.m. So go through the house, turn off all the extra ones. Anything that you can get set up on a timer, set it on a timer so it happens automatically. We like to set the timer on my phone so that it lets me know that it's time to turn off the lights. And then also order yourself. You can go to Amazon and get some blue light blocker sexy shades. They're the big old sunglasses. You can have them go over your glasses if you're somebody that wears glasses, and they're just big shades, and they block all of the blue light. The blue light, the flickering lights that's coming from all the artificial light, that's part of what's messing with the pineal, so that the melatonin isn't kicking out the way it's supposed to, and our cells aren't receiving it because our brain doesn't realize it's really time to get ready for bed. It doesn't know that. So if you throw on your sexy shades at 8:30 when you're turning off all the extra lights, it's going to help your pineal gland kick out that melatonin, and all your cells start going, oh, it's time to go to sleep. And then there's a great app. It is F.LUX. Flux. And it's a free app. You can get it on your cell phone, your kid's cell phone, your iPads, your computer. And what it does is it is set up by your personal zip code. So it goes by what's going on in your area, and it will change the light on your computer and your phones, and it will block that blue light as well. And you will see it has a little bit more of an orange tinge to it, and it has a little more yellow because it's blocking all the blue light. So even if your kids or your teens are still on their cell phones, or they're watching videos on their computer, it's going to change that light for them and for you because it happens automatically. The only heads up I usually give people is if you're doing it on your computer and you're creating anything, you're making a flyer or you're making a graphic, and you do it after your flux has kicked in the next morning when you see it, the colors will be off, because in the evenings when flux kicks in, the change of the color will make your flyer look a little bit different. So you might wake up and be like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking? But it was the color. And you can go into your computer and turn flux off for a little bit if you're working on something important. But think this through. We shouldn't be working on deep, complicated things late at night. We should be relaxing. And then one I didn't put on here, but it should be on here, is turn your computers off at nighttime. We should not be looking at these flickering lights all night long. We should be able to relax. We should pick up a book. There's a difference between looking at your phone and looking at a computer than looking at a book. So you can make some little changes there. And then number 5, wake up at the same time every day. Waking up at the same time 7 days a week, every single day, is amazing for your biological clock. That rhythm that we're supposed to have, it is an amazing tool. Just set that alarm, wake up at the same time, and what will happen is you'll begin to get tired earlier. Because a lot of times people are like, I'm just going to go to bed early, and they'll lay down at 11 o'clock at night, but they're still wide awake till 2 o'clock in the morning. The alarm goes off, they're still sleepy, and they have that cycle. Where when you have a weekend off, if you can reset your clock, your own biological clock, and you can change that so you can have your sleepy time when you're at home. So you can go ahead and wake up at say you have to be up at 6 o'clock every single day. We'll do that on the weekend as well, because this sleeping in the weekend, it messes with your rhythm. Your body doesn't understand why you're doing that. Another great app that you can employ is Sleepy Time. Sleepy, TI.me, Sleepy Time. And this is one that you can put on your phone. You can do a free version. You can do an ad-free version. It's like $1 for the ad-free, but it's an amazing tool. What it does is it allows you to set what time you want to get up in the morning, 6 a.m., and it will tell you what time you need to be laying down in order to have all of your sleep cycles kick in. And then worst case scenario, maybe something happens and you have a really late night and you still have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning or right there around. You can tell the app, you can say, okay, if I go to sleep right now, when should I wake up? And what it does is it registers the time it takes to fall asleep. And then it says when you're going to be in your lightest sleep, because we go through waves of deep sleep, light light sleep, deep sleep, dream sleep. And when you wake up in your lightest amount of sleep in that easy to wake up time, it's so much easier for your body. Your body has rhythms, and that sleepy time lets you wake up when it's the easiest to wake your body up. So let's say you have to be up at 6, and I look at my sleepy time app and it says 5:38 is one of my low times, a good time to wake up. It is easier for me to get up at 5:38 than it would be to get up at 6 because I'm drifting off into a deeper sleep by 6. So some great apps that you can use. And then remember this, if you're sleepy during the day, naps are still sleep. They still register as sleep. Same thing for our little ones. We know that when they're tired during the day, we give them a nap. If you can get a nap in before 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you're sleepy, then you need to do that. After 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's going to mess with your ability to go to sleep between 10 and 11 o'clock, which is the optimal time to be able to get in bed. And then there's some great products, some things you can do that just encourage sweet sleep. One of my favorite is Peace and Calming 2. This is a beautiful aroma. It's tangerine, orange, ylang ylang. It's got patchouli, German chamomile, vetiver, cistus, bergamot. It's even got cassia, davana. It is an amazing oil. It has your Northern Lights black spruce in there. It is a beautiful, relaxing aroma. You can just apply that. You can diffuse that. You can have it in the diffuser going on in the living room while you are relaxing. You can put some on your feet. You can just breathe it in. It's just a beautiful, beautiful aroma. Very relaxing. Another one, lavender. Lavender is one of those really well-known essential oils, and everybody knows it's very relaxing and very calming. So use that. Get out your lavender. Put a little bit on your feet. Deep breathe it in your hands. Spritz it in your bed. Spritz it on your kids' pillows. It's just a great one. You can even put it into a bath and relax and soak in your lavender. It is delicious. And you know what, ladies? It's beautiful for your face too. You can take lavender and you can apply it right on your face, on your skin. It's just a great one to add in. Then one of my all-time favorites, like I have used this one for, 10 years, and it is cedarwood. I'm a little bit addicted to cedarwood. It's one of those really inexpensive oils, beautiful for the skin, but it just allows my mind to get quiet. It's very calming. It's very powerful as far as allowing our mind to stop making the list. I lay there in bed, and without my cedarwood, I'm making a list of all the things I have to do the next day. And again, this is a great one for the skin. You can just take 6 or 7 drops and rub it all over your face and deep breathe it and get it through the temples. And it's a beautiful oil that will become, it will quickly become one of your favorites. It's beautiful even for the scalp and the hair. It's just a great oil. It's also just a bonus for cedarwood. It's one that you can apply and you can enjoy the outdoors annoyance-free. It's a great one. You can use that kind of like your citronella or tea tree, clove, lemongrass. It's just a great blend. Then we have our rutavala. Now, rutavala is a blend. It is a blend of ruta, valerian, and lavender. So the lavender we already talked about, and then it also has valerian in there and that ruta, and it really promotes feelings of serious relaxation. It just quiets all those thoughts. It allows us to calm down and relax. It's very encouraging for sleep. It just helps you to relax and get nice and quiet. And you don't have to use all of these. You can use 1 or 2, or you'll find your favorites, ones that you really like. Then we have our Sleepy Ease. It's a gentle oil for our kids. It's a part of our Kids Sense line, and it helps our little ones just to get nice and relaxed. Again, of course, it's perfectly fine for adults as well. And this one is a blend of that lavender we keep talking about. It also has that valerian and rue, so it's got the same 3 ingredients as a rutavala, but then it goes a couple more steps. It has Roman chamomile, and we've all heard of the chamomile tea to be able to relax and soothe, and it's got the beautiful aroma of tangerine, bergamot, and sacred frankincense. So it is truly a beautiful, relaxing blend, one that you will like as much as your children do. And then we have a couple of supplements. One is Sleep Essence. Now, Sleep Essence has 5 different essential oils that are in that one beautiful blend. It has lavender and valerian and rue. Now, you've heard us talk about that in 3 products now. So those are in the rutavala, the Sleepies, and our Sleep Essence. So you're kind of catching a theme there. And in addition to that, there's vetiver and that tangerine again. In addition to that, there is 3.2 milligrams of melatonin in our sleep essence. You can just take 1 to 2 of those gels 30 to 60 minutes before bed, and they really help us to be able to get that beautiful deep sleep and reset that clock. We want to start taking that. So if you're wanting to go to bed around 10, you would want to take your sleep essence probably around 9, get that lavender peace and calming going in your diffuser, go wash your face, do your normal rituals, put a little cedar wood and rutavala on there, use that art skincare or maybe that bath. You're going to do that around 9. So by 10:30, you're feeling definitely ready to drift off to sleep. We want to quiet that mind so that we can drift off and not lay there for 2 hours trying to get sleepy. The other one that we have on here is Immu Pro. Now, Immu Pro is actually for the overall immune system. It's a great supplement for that, but it also has in here our melatonin. Melatonin is phenomenal for the immune system, which is why it is in the Immu Pro. It's a very balancing oil. It doesn't like stimulate your immune system or turn it down. It just really helps us to have that healthy, beautiful immune system. That's melatonin. And you can do a little research on why that is, but it's a chewable. So this is one that maybe you could do like a half one. So you've got a 12-year-old, 11-year-old, 13-year-old, a young adult, right? A young one who's having a hard time resetting their clock, especially the time just changed and everybody's back to school, or maybe they slept in all weekend, so it's hard to get to sleep on Sunday night for school in the morning. You could play with that Immu Pro, and it's chewable, so even if they have a hard time taking capsules, it's one that they could experience. Great for the immune system, so it's fine for their body, and it's just a great one to really encourage that sleep. Now, the beauty of all of these, there's a bunch of other oils that you could play with. These just happen to be 5 of my favorite oils for sleeping, but you can do some research and see what helps your mind to quiet down. These are my favorites. Now, what I love about all of them, from Sleep Essence all the way over to your Immu Pro, is if I have to wake up for something, when I have my grandkids come over and they're staying the night, I know that I can use all of these. And if my kids came in and they needed me, I would be awake and alert. So I wouldn't have to feel like, oh my gosh, I can't even climb out of bed, or if something like that happens. And I love and appreciate that because I'm still a mom, I'm still a grandma, I still have a life, right? And this lets us feel that way. So you never wake up the next day groggy. And that to me was very important. Now, the other side of sleep, of sweet sleep, is rise and shine, waking up fresh and energetic and ready for the day and feeling good, because we're supposed to feel good. Did you know that? We're supposed to feel energetic. We're supposed to feel amazing. And some of the things you can do is just start your day with some very energetic oils. And you can put a timer on one of your diffusers so it can go off about 45 minutes, half an hour before you wake up. This is a great tool to use in your kids' rooms and your teenagers' rooms, so that what happens is, say you have your peppermint, lemongrass, rosemary, which are extremely uplifting and energizing. They're just really good ones to be able to wake you up, and you put those in a diffuser. And what that does is it starts waking up the body so that when the alarm goes off, they're ready to jump out of bed. How many of you would like to be able to just jump out of bed and feel wide awake and alert? So then you go over to the window, you look outside, you take your citrus fresh, you just deep breathe that one because that helps you to wake up and focus, concentrate. That's rosemary. Rosemary and basil are amazing for that big bounce, that energy. They're very spicy, they're aromatic, and they are amazing for helping energize and just get us up and going. Again, there's a whole bunch of other ones you could play with, things like energy. Energy is an oil that Young Living has that the name says it all, right? It's energy. It gives you that little bit of a boost. Endoflex is another one that's just a great wake me up. It's got that spicy aroma, and it's going to help you just wake up and get focused. And you're looking for ones that work for you. What are the ones that help you feel refreshed? And I like to start my day with the Morning Start Bath and Shower Gel. My husband likes the Morning Start bar. He doesn't like using the gels, so you can use whichever one you want, but they both spark and wake up the mind. They get us started the right way for the next day. And speaking of getting started the right way, you definitely want to start your day with some amazing Ninja Red. Now, I am sure this whole 2 weeks of people sharing with this great conference that we've had with the Oil Summit, you have probably heard so much about Ninja Red, but I couldn't do a Rise and Shine without talking to you about this amazing amazing ingredient. So this is about increased energy levels. This is normal cellular function. It's a whole body, normal eye health. You only need 2 to 4 ounces a day. And this just supports overall wellness. It's an amazing one. And inside this great bottle, because these, you're always going to notice the bottom gets darker and it gets thick, and it's because the juices will separate. The primary juice we have in there is our amazing, beautiful wolfberry puree. So our wolfberries come directly from the Ningxia province in the northern China. It is a superfruit. It's a very high percentage of fiber. It's got lots of lutein and zeaxanthin. Those are the carotenoids that are just really amazing for our eye health. It helps with vision. It's got your polysaccharides, amino acids, and it has symbiotic vitamin and minerals. They pair together and they just really help with optimal internal absorption. That's in the puree. You know, we use the whole thing, the peel, the seeds, the fruit itself, all together. And this is important. This helps us to be able to get those effects that we're talking about. Ningxia Red is a powerhouse when it comes to energy. And that's the wolfberry. That's what we have right here. I also want to say one quick thing here. So the wolfberry or the goji berry, it's kind of like apples. Like there are a ton of different kinds of apples. There's Royal Gala, there's Washington, there's Red Delicious, all kinds of different ones. And each of them have a different nutrient profile. So the wolfberries right here, the goji, that's like the generic. Then this is the Ningxia wolfberries. It's the province they come from. They come right at the base of the Himalayan mountains. They have this great runoff of great mineral profiles that are in there. So you'll see some amazing high amounts of things like your great healthy potassium and just different nutrients. And that's the difference between them. And then we have an amazing source of supporting juice blends. So in here, I mean, this is part of why it's so effective. We talk about the wolfberry, but you also have grapeseed extract, blueberry, plum, aronia, cherry, pomegranate juices. Each of those on their own are a high potent, amazing juice all by itself. But then it goes further because things like our grapeseed extract, these are high in nutrients that support our cardiovascular system. Then you've got your blueberry, your plum, your cherry, your pomegranate. These are high levels of anthocyanin, of good polyphenols, and these help to block oxygen-based free radicals from damaging your tissue. So these are like protection around every single cell in your body. That's exciting to me. This is a great way to be able to get all of these different nutrients in your body on a regular basis, and it just helps with overall healthy body. And then as if all this goodness was not enough, because like I said, you got to shake that bottle because this puree, it will settle. So you shake it up, and then Young Living adds essential oils. You've got the orange essential oil, you have yuzu essential oil, tangerine, lemon, and these are all selected because they help to maintain normal cellular regeneration. They're already in the bottle, so you're getting the oils internally every single day, and they help with that energy. They help with that boost that we're talking about. It's got your antioxidants, the antioxidant D-limonene that's in there. This is an amazing addition to your life. These bioactives that are already in the essential oils that are in there, they help with our entire system. This tangerine oil, it's amazing. It helps to maintain healthy cholesterol levels. That's a big deal. You've got that beautiful yuzu essential oil, which is where did that come from? I don't even remember. It's an amazing oil. It's all in there. It's a synergistic blend. When you cover all of these together, Ningxia Red helps to support normal digestion. It's for healthy immune function, normal brain function, healthy cardiovascular system, so many different things. And it's this wonderful combination of the oils, the supporting juices, and that wolfberry. And again, like this one little packet, this right here, this is 2 ounces that you're getting. So you want to have at least 2 packs a day, or you're going to do 4 ounces a day, whichever way that works for you. But start your day that way. I think it's important if you have your kids, have them do that 2 ounces of Ningxia Red in the morning before school. And then when they come home from school, give them another 2 ounces or throw it in their lunch. We like to throw these in the freezer. So at lunchtime, they rip this open and it's still nice and cold and yummy because it's gone through that and it starts to defrost. So that is our Ningxia Red. Check it out. Try it. Give it a 90-day 90-day try. See what happens for 90 days if you did that 2 to 4 ounces a day in infrared. See where your focus and your energy and how much easier it is to get going in the morning. Then we have 2 other ones that I just have to give a little shout out. Again, this is Rise and Shine, and these are things that you can do throughout the day. So first we have our Ninja Nitro, and I want you to read right here. This says cognitive fitness. So this is about that wonderful energy, that midday boost so that you can get going, that quick pick-me-up. This is a part of that, but it's also flat out cognitive fitness. This is helping our mind work the way it's supposed to. So you get that quick pick-me-up without the sugar, without caffeine, or that huge caffeine overload. It has your essential oils. It's got D-ribose in there, Korean ginseng, green tea extract. So you got that little bit of caffeine in there. It helps with alertness. And again, cognitive and physical fitness. That's what we're talking about. It supports normal energy levels and alertness. It's just a wonderful addition for your overall cognitive fitness. It's a great one that you can do. And you can, again, I love the idea. If with teenagers, my girls have these in their purse. We've even got a couple in the dash of the car so that if they are feeling a little dragging, they didn't get enough sleep the day before, or they're wishing that they could take a nap, they can take a shot of that nitro and it gives them that nice, healthy, even energy, that alertness to be able to get them back home. Same thing for when we're driving. A lot of times we have late night classes or meetings going on. So before we go to the class, so say around 5, we will take one of these so we can make it all the way through until we get home at 11 o'clock at night after a drive. So it gives that little bit of boost. I wouldn't take this at 10 o'clock at night for energy because it's going to keep you up. Then the other one that we have is our Ninja Zing. This is I love this, hydrating splash of energy, flat out. That's what you have going on. This is a blend. Again, both of these have that wolfberry in there, the puree. And in addition to that, this also has water, sparkling water, pear, blackberry juices. It has a little bit of lime and black pepper essential oil, which is a delicious taste. My son's girlfriend, who was addicted to soda, she was a real soda girl, and she got to try the Ninja Zing just recently, and she's in love with it. She said it is so refreshing. She felt so alert. She was able to get all of the stuff she had to do. She's finishing her last year in college, and that stress of getting things done, and it was just such a wonderful boost for her, and it tastes delicious. Get this, all without artificial flavors or preservatives. I love that. So this, our nitro here, is green tea extract. This one is white tea extract. So it does have that little bit of caffeine. It's around 35 milligrams of caffeine. Matter of fact, I think this is about the same. They have about the same amount of caffeine. It's only 35 calories, and it is delicious. You can enjoy it early morning, late afternoon. I wouldn't do it late in the evening. Again, that little bit of caffeine might be enough to throw you out of being able to get into that deep sleep. But these are some things that you can do to be able to help you with that boost, so then you can get through the day, so you can get to bed at a decent time. Nothing will ever replace sleep. Your body still needs sleep. We can't function properly without sleep, but there are some things we can do while we're retraining our system. So I just want to thank you for giving me a few minutes to speak into your life. If you want a copy of this PowerPoint, we've also got lots of free other editable content right on our website, ShannonHudsonYL.com. You can use anything you find on our site, from PowerPoints to handouts to just anything. You can download it, you can edit it, you can take all of our information off of it. It doesn't have to say made by Shannon Hudson or any of our logos. Take it off, because my biggest dream, my greatest desire is that we teach other people. We tell people that there are options that can just make your life feel better, and options that can change the future for our future generations. And you can also join any of our Facebook groups. We've got a New Hope YLEO. That is the one for our products. So if you want more product information, we also have Sleek with Me. Keep in mind that it's spelled sleek, not sleek. And those are both product. Then we have our 1090 plan, and that's all about business. That's how you share this. We got into Young Living, and we just started sharing one-on-one, person to person, friend to friend. And now we're sitting here. We went from toilet bowl cleaners to diamonds and Young Living, traveling around the world. So thanks so much. I hope you have a blessed and wonderful day.